that congregation. I need to know. People didn't know why I got kicked out of my church where I went to. I'm like, wouldn't it make sense to tell you guys what I did wrong so you don't commit the same thing? Let's go to Deuteronomy 17:13. What does it say?
It says, and all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously.
You see? So let us all hear so that we fear, so we don't do the same presumption action. If Tony Evans, a 40 plus years veteran, has committed a sin, wouldn't it make sense for us to know? I'm glad that the book told us what David did so that we can understand that it can happen to David, King David, a man after Yah's own heart, that no one is, but he didn't have to step down from being a king. How do you step down if something's been given? You can't. How do you step down? They say it's not criminal, I believe. They said he committed sin, but it's not criminal. And I can see that. I can see that. I mean, you could be you could practice homosexuality in the church, and it's not a criminal to have sex with another man, practice homosexual, but it's a sin. So I don't know. So it could be something like that. Is he messing with a little boy? I don't know. Another man. I don't know. We don't know. We are left to speculate. And all I want to know is, what is it so that I don't make the same mistake? I want to have that fear. I hear now. I want the fear factor. Where's the fear factor? Well, Kabir, it's none of your business. Well, I'm just telling you what the book says. Let's go to Deuteronomy 19:20. And I'm going to get to the New Testament too. Let's go to Deuteronomy 19. I want to show you guys what the word says.
I'm pulling it up here.
So you look at 91% of people believe, either the people on our thing, we have 43 people in here, and 93% believe that we should know what Tony Evans' sin is. 91%. I don't know what the 9%, but 90% believe that we should know. What is your sin, Tony? Let the people know what your sin is so we don't make, if you really love the people, let us know what the sin is. You love telling your wonderful stories, and it's memorized. And man, people are just mesmerized by your story. Well, memorize what your sin is so that we don't make the same mistake that you made a couple of years ago. What's your sin, Tony Evans? That's all I want to know. I mean, you've let the public know you stepping down. It must be something serious. We hear now. I want the fear factor. Where's the fear factor so we don't make the same mistake? Do you want us to make the same mistake? Do you not care about the flock? Help me to make sense out of this stuff. Go to Deuteronomy 19:20.
It says, and those which remain shall hear and fear. And
hear and fear. Those who remain. We remain, Tony. We hear, now we want fear. Read.
And shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you.
Let me read the scripture version. It says, and let the rest hear and fear, and never again do this evil matter in your midst. Well, we don't even know what he did wrong. There may be people doing the same thing and don't even know it's wrong because Tony Evans won't let us know what he did wrong. The church won't let us know what he's done wrong. It says it right there. Okay, you say, well, Kabir, that's Old Testament. Okay, because I got to satisfy these Christians out there because Christians, they're going to tell you that's Old Testament. So let's go to the New Testament. Christians, this is for you. This is for you. I just want to show you line upon line, precept upon precept, and I can even bring the Christian. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 20. This is for all the Christians out there that believe New Testament only. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 20. Read.
It says, them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Do you see? So let me read the scripture version. It says, reprove those who are sinning. They used the word sin. Sin is the transgression of the law. What law? Christianity don't believe in keeping the law of Yah. They don't believe. So how can Tony Evans be in a religion that don't have any law? It's a lawless religion, and he's sinning. How is that possible? And then if he is sinning, why won't you educate the people what the sin is so that we don't commit the same sin? That's all I'm asking for. It says it right here in your New Testament book that you guys you'll swear by. New Testament only. Law's done away. The Old Testament, don't even read the Old Testament, only for tithing purposes. So right here in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, it says, reprove all those who are sinning. Well, Tony Evans has acknowledged that he has sinned. We have, I guess this is a form of rebuke in the presence of all, so that the rest would may fear. So what is it? So guys, these are the stuff that I'm trying to figure out. This is the stuff that just drove me crazy about Christianity. You hear brother, all of a sudden the brother's here and he's gone, and we don't even know why he's gone. One thing I love about Straightway Truth Ministry, at least when stuff like this happen, we are very aware, and it puts the fear of Yah in here. We just had one of somebody, of great stature in our ministry who's no longer with us, and we were made aware of the things that he was doing, and guess what? It put fear. Tell me anybody that's a part of Straightway, and I'm not, you know what I'm talking about. We had one of our first time pastor in the ministry, and he really left because judgment was coming, and he left. Tell me when you heard what he did and the things that, tell me, did you also have fear in your heart when you heard what he did and how he failed? Put up there, did you have fear when you heard what happened to one of our own pastors? Can you put a survey on there?
Yeah.
How many of you, I don't know how you put that question on there.
I'll put it up there.
I have fear when I heard when that pastor, I'm like, dang, 14 years. We talking about 14 years, let alone 40 plus years, and we don't know what the sin is. What type of sin did this man commit that he literally has to step down after? He's the founder of the church, and he has to step down after 40 plus years. I think he's in his 70s. What could a 60-plus-year-old man, now he's in his 70s, what could he have done that would cause him to step down and we don't know about it? Man, one of our pastors was only 14 years in the ministry. He was only a pastor really short, a short period of time. He didn't even make it to the next feast. And he failed. And we knew. And guess what? We feared. It made us all look in the mirror and reevaluate. Man, this is serious. Lest I fall, lest I'm disqualified. So don't be so presumptuous, lest we fall. It made us all look deep down within ourselves. It says, do you fear? Did you fear when a certain individual left the ministry? And I think it's like that for anybody that's left the ministry. We just had one that was recent, and look, it says 100% had fear. I bet you go ask Tony Evans' church if they have any fear. I bet you they have no fear. They have more concerns. They have more like want to pray for the Evans family, pray for Tony, and things of that nature. They still going to fellowship with them. They're still going to do, I don't know, but they don't have fear. Why would they fear? What's the whole duty of man? Fear Yah. What's the whole duty of man? Fear Yah. And what's after that? And keep his commandment. That is the whole duty of man. And Christianity is absent of fear. They have no fear. They are a lawless religion. That's why women can be pastors. That's why you can be a homosexual as a Christian. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do in Christianity. Anything you want. You can be gay. You can be a homosexual. You can be a part of the Transformer group. You can be a part of the Skittle groups. And you can still be a pastor in Christianity. Starting from Roman Catholic Church all the way down to all forms of that comes from the Roman Catholic Church. But then Tony Evans is stepping. I bet you whatever he's stepping down from is not as bad. I bet you we wouldn't call it sin. I bet you we wouldn't call it sin. You think he's stepping down because he drank some alcohol? You think he's stepping down because we know it's not criminal, so it's not criminal, so he couldn't be messing with little boys or little girls. So we know that there's no pedophilia going on here. Now, it could be possibly homosexual. I doubt it because he got married, but that could be a cover-up. I mean, what could the sin be? He didn't kill anybody. I mean, this is a guy that's well respected in the Christian community. This is a Republican. I mean, this is one of the big names. I'm talking about, this is a big time name in the Christian circle, man. I mean, he was able to cross over to be even acceptable in the white Christian community, even though his church is predominantly a black church. That's huge. He was like the Michael Jackson, maybe. Maybe I'm putting a little jelly on that, but I'm just saying this is a big time name. He's been in the business for 40 plus years. And now the big news is Tony Evans is stepping down because of sin. This is the term that they're using. So if he sinned, that means he's transgressed the law of Yah. What law they're talking about? I would love to know. Is it because he wasn't remembering the Sabbath day? Was he working on the Sabbath? We know Christians don't keep the Sabbath. So how is he able to operate for 40-something years? And he was sinning every single Shabbat. He was sinning every single Shabbat. He wasn't keeping the Shabbat. I don't even know. Anybody know Tony Evans stands on the Shabbat?
I mean,
What's his stance on the Shabbat?
If he's a Christian, you're not gonna teach something you don't practice yourself, right?
Exactly. His son played football. His son played football, college ball. And I remember him being at some of those games. It was a day game, and he's watching his son play college football on Saturday. So I know he didn't believe in keeping the Shabbat. So his son, if he played football, he must have played Friday. He had to play high school. We played Friday nights. Friday night. Have you heard that movie Friday Night Lights or Lights Friday or something? Friday Night Lights. That's when and he's in Texas. This man's in Texas. So football is big in Texas. I know he played on Friday nights. Shabbat. I know he played college ball. Shabbat. Then you eventually work through to get to Sunday. You're not sitting if you're playing on Sunday, but you got to lead up and you're working. You're working on that day to walkthroughs, watching film. You're doing your work to get ready for Sunday game. How come he didn't step down back then? He should have been stepping down back then.
I don't know if you remember. Do you remember that movie War Room? The Christian movie? His daughter played.
Plays in that movie. Yeah, his daughter played in the War Room. Yeah. Praying because, remember, she was praying because her husband was messing with another woman, and she was praying against this woman that she was, something was stopping. I think she got some type of stomach sickness or whatever. And in Christianity, they'll call that a sin. But to be honest with you, in that movie scene, he wasn't sinning, talking to another woman. But in Christianity, that would be considered a sin. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the sin? What's the breaking news? Is somebody, extorting him and say, if we don't step down, I'm going to put this out there? Are they trying to get ahead of the news? I'm just trying to figure out what's the sin. So guys, man, I tell you,